Hey guys, Overkill here again for another video, and this time you can see it is one of my top 5 favorite characters in comics, Beta Ray Bill. Super stoked for this guy, so let's check him out. First up, we'll look at the package. You can see just a typical Legend series, but it does have the Beta Ray Bill symbol on the bottom. On the side is the man himself. Opposite, same art. Love the art on this. We'll have to use it as a backdrop. On the bottom, all the wording we don't care about. And on the top, no symbol. Not even a Thor symbol or anything. And on the back, it tells you a little bit about the character. Beta Ray Bill. After being released from suspended animation, Beta Ray Bill is transformed by a mystical enchantment on Mjolnir that grants him the powers and costume of Thor. He is one of my big time jumps back in the comics, so I got to give a lot of props to this character. I couldn't tell you guys enough how excited I am that they finally made another one. I love my Toybiz one. I found them used at RobCon a few years back before I started YouTubing, sadly, so there's no video on that. But also at RobCon the same year, I think it was, I found the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill, so I've got like the first 3 or 4 issue run of them. So love the character. Love the whole story of them. Shout out to my wife and to my friend Randy I used to work with to get me into all this Thor lore stuff and get me really, really big back in the comics. So now, with that being said, let's take a look at this guy out of the package. Here he is out of his package inside of his clamshell, and we do see Stormbreaker and 2 of the Build-A-Figure Hulk heads here for Professor Hulk. Let's look at those first. First up, you see just a plain Jane Hulk face. It does have the gray hair on the side. It's pretty cool. I didn't notice that in the package. Really awesome. Smart Hulk. This is another Build-A-Figure that's going to go to my wife. We'll set it here and on to the next one. This one we have the Grinning Hulk. Really cool looking. They look a lot better in person than they do on pictures on the internet. I'm actually impressed with this. I didn't really want the Build-A-Figure at first, but seeing it, it's pretty cool. I'll definitely have to hook my wife up with this one. She'll like it. She's about the same Hulk fan as me. You know, we both like him a lot. She likes the MCU Hulk a lot better, obviously, though. Coming up next is Stormbreaker. Really awesome looking. If you guys remember Thor from the MCU, the most recent one came with Stormbreaker as well. A lot different look on it. His axe looked more like the Ultimate Comics Thor. This one's closer to the OG Beta Ray Bill Stormbreaker look. Really like this. It's a pretty cool updated look for Beta Ray Bill. Lastly in the package, we have the cybernetic horseman himself, Beta Ray Bill. Take a look at the cape. I don't know if this comes off or not. It does. Heck yeah, that's pretty awesome. Alright, the cape, we'll look at it. Just, it's already detailed and stuff. There's no bendability to it. It would have been great if it had been some kind of cloth or bendable cape or something. You can see the peg that goes into the back, and these parts go on to the shoulders here and just snap right on. But we'll look at them without it. It's a lot easier. These do not move up, so they're kind of stationary, and that limits the arm movement a lot. So we'll start with the head. You can look up pretty high. Good stretch. Looking down, straight down. And of course the best part, articulated mouth. That is really awesome. You cannot have a Beta Ray Bill without this. I mean, that's just a necessity. Really awesome dude. Now the arms with this bends a little, but not enough to make up for what you need. The arm will only raise up maybe that high. And then go, it don't really move a lot, you can see. That's it. In that direction. And upwards, it allows a little bit more movement. It can go almost straight out. And backwards, pretty much straight back. And it does have the upper bicep turn. You can go all the way around on it. Double jointed elbows. There we go. Joints are really tight on this figure. This is the first time I've experienced this. I was really nervous I'd break them. And as long as it took me to find them, I really don't want to break them. On down, there's no upper wrist turn, but there is at the hand. Now, you can see it's got a piece that lets you bend up. And you can have broken wrist Bill here. And full rotation. Obviously the same on the other arm. We go on to the chest. He does have a sort of an ab type crunch thing going on. Bend back about that far. That far forward. And then the waist, you get full rotation. You can even have backwards Bill if you want them. Next up is the legs. And it's a little bit more forgiving than the arms. You can move up about that high. Straight down. And you get, essentially, it's full rotation. So you can go either way you want with it. And on the thigh, we do have the cut to allow for turning all the way. Down to the knees, we do have double jointed knees. Allows you to go back that far. And straight out. And then we do have the calf cut here to allow full rotation. And then at the ankle, it's the same as the wrist. Allows you to bend it up that far. Down pretty straight. And back. That's pretty cool. That's it for the articulation. Really awesome. I'm liking it for a bulkier figure. It is lacking on the arms though. So you guys definitely remember that if you're aiming to get this figure. If you're wanting dynamic poses, you will not be able to do it with the arms because of these shoulder pads. Now we'll put his cape back on. And it goes straight into the peg. Like so. And it fits really good. It actually fits more flush than the Toybiz version, which is what we're going to look at next. So let's get Stormbreaker in his hand. And to have a little look. The biggest notice that you'll see is the costume itself. As the Toybiz went with the more retro Beta Ray Bill look and the classic Thor costume. And the new one has a more updated Beta Ray Bill look from more recent appearances in comics. And then the tone, the shading of the skin and stuff is different colors. You got a darker brown on this one as opposed to like a golden brown on the Toybiz. And there are no gloves on the new one. They both keep the helmet, just a more modernized look of it with the wings and stuff. So it's still got that gladiator type look to them. And then the Toybiz has like the golden leggings and stuff as opposed to the new one just being a straight up like spandex type costume. And then you'll also notice with Stormbreaker itself, the new one, much bigger. You can see it here. And then we do have the retro one here. Different shading, different color, and way different size. It's pretty wild, almost twice the size of it if you don't count in the strap on it. Cool nonetheless. Now, looking at the cape as I was talking about, you can see on the new one, due to the peg, it sits pretty flush. So that's really cool. You don't have to have that thing in the way. The Toybiz one, I'm not sure if it had a stand or not to go with it, because he does have a hole here. But it's more of a pliable, bendable, rubbery cape. But it's latched on at all times to him. I'm thinking he should have had a flight stand, because he's got a hole in the cape and a hole in his back. So if you guys do know if you own the original Beta Ray Bill new, let me know if I'm right on that. So I gotta ask, which do you prefer? You a bigger fan of the Toybiz or a bigger fan of the new Hasbro version? Myself, I like them both. I have to go with the Toybiz version. He's such an iconic figure to my collection. He's one of my favorite Marvel figures that I own. If I were to change anything about him, though, I would change the coloration of the hammer. And I would have changeable hands here because an open hand just doesn't work right with fighting figures. I've talked to my friends about this before when they'll release the Hulk or Thing, Thor, Beta Ray Bill, whoever. These guys who's known to throw punches and have with an open hand, it just doesn't work out. And Hasbro did get that one a little bit better with this one. Does that mean I do not like the Hasbro one? No. It is still a phenomenal looking figure. I'm glad to have it in my collection. And due to the look of it, it pretty much lived up to my hype other than the arm articulation. So he's still going to be one of my favorite figures of the year, I can tell. Definitely going to be a great addition to my Thor collection. I'll have to update that shelf eventually and show you guys, because I do have a couple carded ones I'm going to dig out and put as a backdrop for that. That pretty much covers this Beta Ray Bill, other than showing you maybe some pretty sick poses. So let's see what I can do with that. And there he is once again. Hope you enjoyed the review of my Marvel Legends Hasbro version Beta Ray Bill. Phenomenal figure. If you're a Thor fan, if you're into the whole Thor Mjolnir lore, definitely get this guy. He'll look great for your collection. Sound off in the comments below what your opinions on him are. And if you're going to get him, or if you already have him, have you completed this wave? Is your Hulk done? As for myself, I'll still be picking up Loki at least. And my wife, I'm going to get her Rescue. So I may do a review for Loki if I end up picking him up. And I may end up doing a video if I build this Hulk. We'll see. I'm not getting in any hurry though. I think those guys will be a little bit easier to find. This guy was flying off the pegs pretty quick. Every store I went to, I couldn't find him, so I ended up getting him off Amazon, luckily for retail. And wouldn't you know, probably 5 days later, he ended up showing up at my local Walmart. But he sold quick anyway, so I was glad to get him. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, I bid you all farewell.